Hey guys, this is John Lee Hilliard from JT's Vending. Um, I wanted to do a video to say thank you for all of you guys who have been subscribing with us on our YouTube channel and our TikTok. Thank you for helping us grow and reach more people. Thank you for commenting on our videos. We truly appreciate the help. So where we are now, we have formed JT's Acer program. We're forming that as a nonprofit so that we can teach more children in low income areas where I grew up about budgeting and finances. So the crime rate in Memphis, Tennessee, if you Google it, look it up, Memphis, Tennessee, the crime rate is extremely high. And those of you who are not familiar with the area, those of you who live in Memphis or Shelby County, you know that the crime rate, just like I know, is only a symptom of the actual problem. So, and you say, what's the actual problem? Well, here, me growing up in low income areas, me struggling financially most of my life, living in the projects, I can tell you definitely the problem is people are poor. People have no money management skills whatsoever. These young girls and boys are growing up, don't even know what the word budget means. They don't know, they've never heard the word. And you know how I know? Because I have never heard the word until I was 26, 27 years old. I never heard the word budget until I was an adult. And even then, I heard the word from a few people, but at 26, I was still reading on a elementary level. So, with that being said, what we at JT's Vending LLC, JT's Vending Services LLC, what we are doing, we have a ACER program that go into these low income areas and show these young men and women practical things that they can do to earn money in their community. Practical things that they can apply to life from biblical principles. So I teach from the Bible about finances and budgeting. So if you were to go read Matthew chapter 25 and start at verse 14, you'll see how God, he shows you, like, you should be wise with your resources. In modern vernacular, resources is money. So our plan here at JT's Vending to help a lot of those young men and women in those low income areas. And our goal is to try to catch them when they're young so that they won't live a life of crime and poverty because they start to steal the things that they want and need. And you have people stealing bread, chips, candy, rice, like they're stealing it because they're hungry. And it hurts. And I've been there in my lifetime. I've been hungry. We ate commodities from the government. So if the government didn't pass those boxes of commodities out to us, more than likely we were hungry. So I understand why things are the way they are, but I am only one person. We're only one company trying to help and go into these areas and teach. So, what we need from you guys. So, what we need is if you don't mind being generous, we only ask that if you can donate to JT's Acer program, you just go to our website, which is www.jtsvendingservice, the number 4, the letter U.com. And if you go to the very top of the page, you should see donate. Click on that donate button, and that donate button will take you to our donating page. Now, the nonprofit has nothing to do with our vending machines. But what we do with our vending machines, as Christians in a Christian-based company, we give generously. So we give a percentage of our profits out to random strangers. We give it out to people on our YouTube channel and our TikTok. But we're trying to show others we need more Christians, like true Christians, men and women of God, to help us in this fight, trying to educate more people about biblical principles about finances. Because, I mean, the word, it tells you in this Bible, this is, it tells you in this Bible what to do. People are doing their best to ignore what God has said. And I found out when I ignore what God has told me to do, then that becomes my issue, and then I don't reap those benefits of following His word. So I'm living in the world, and I'm suffering because I chose not to follow Jesus Christ. So the goal is to educate these young girls and boys, so when they have children and they become adults, that they can pass down these lifelong skills. Nobody came to the projects and told me about budgeting, told me that budgeting is a lifelong skill. And most of you as adults on my YouTube channel have never did a budget. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be ashamed. Most of my life, no, I didn't do a budget. I spent the money that I got, and when it got low, then I tried to scramble. So I've been in a situation where I've had three payday loans, and this was all at one time, and I was like 27, 28 years old. I had 3 payday loans, a loan by phone, cash to you leasing, auto loan. Man, anything I could do to borrow money to make myself look fake rich, that's what I did. And I didn't take my finances seriously, and I struggled most of my life. So my goal is just to get as many donations as possible. The minimum we ask is $2, $2 USD currency, $2 from anyone who wants to donate. You can donate more, but the minimum is like $2. And again, that just goes toward being generous, you being generous to us, and us passing it on to the children in those low-income areas. Because I see God working through me and my wife when we're going into these low-income areas teaching. I love, and I didn't like kids. Kids, they don't listen, they're hard-headed. But God has changed my heart. I love teaching children about money. I love it. It fills me with so much joy to go and teach these children about finances, things that they have never heard before, of budgeting, or asset versus liability, and teaching them these basic things that they don't understand because their parents. I'm not knocking parents. I'm one who didn't do it, but I'm not knocking the parents for not knowing. But if you can teach your child to play basketball, play football, be great at track and field, how about teaching them along with that finances? So, because we can see in the media all these football players and sports athletes go broke. They spend millions of dollars because they don't know what a budget is, and they feel like, oh, I can ball out because I got some money. I got $5 million, and go broke real quick. And everybody go, oh no, how he did that? I do. He didn't live on a budget. He thought that, or he or she thought that they can out earn their stupid. They can do so much stupid stuff that they got so much money that it won't catch up with them. A lie. You'll end up broke. But for us normal people, we can't do that. We'll end up broke real quick, or we'll end up working 90 hours a week to get a $2,000 paycheck, and then we spend it on our monthly expenses are $3,000. So now we're in the hole. Now we're trying to borrow money. So again, guys, we would appreciate, not just me, my wife as well, and our company, we would appreciate you guys for going to our website, making a small minimum donation of $2. That's not much, but it helps. It's not much to you, but when you all give generously to our youth program, that helps us go teach those children. And what it does is it allows us to buy stuff like this. So we have children that struggle with counting money. Counting money. We buy things like these. Dave Ramsey, like little cards for breaking the ice with the children. We utilize this board game as Accurate Wage, and it's essentially all we do is just talk to kids about budgeting and finances, and it helps us. It helps us afford stuff like this. We buy these and we fill them up with like fake money. So we and notepads and pens. We do all this stuff so we can give to the children in those low-income areas to show them when they come to our ACER program or we go and teach them, we have tools that they can utilize. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please, if you can make a donation, we would truly appreciate a donation to our website and to our ACER program. Thank you so much, guys. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on Saturday for our cash giveaway from JT's Vending Services, LLC. Au revoir, à bientôt, à la prochaine.